So you really did kill your father?
Tariq, if you do this shit, you can never go back.
Even my father. But even he couldn't see until it was too late. He might not be here no more, but ghosts never die.
You gotta go. No. Ghosts, come on, man. Don't do this.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now, today we'll be talking about Power Book 2 Ghosts. Do y'all still hate Tariq? After Power Book 2 Ghosts Season 1 has ended, do you guys still hate his character? Because remember, back when he killed his father, Ghost, he received a whole lot of hate. And to be honest, even before that, Tariq wasn't the most liked character in Power in general, right? So we're definitely going to be talking about that. That is the topic of discussion. I will break it down, let you know how I feel. Shout out to my boy Robert Lawrence Jones, man, because he hit me up. He's been following me for years, been supporting the channel for years, and he said this will be a great topic of discussion to talk about. So of course we're going to be talking about that today, and I want you guys to drop your fan theories down below. Usually I do a lot of fan theories once the show ends or whatever, so we can have some new content to talk about. So drop those fan theories down below. Let me know some of the other fan theories that you guys want to see me talk about. But as far as today, the hate for Tariq, do you guys still hate him? If you hated him at all, right? Now, as far as me, when it came to Tariq's character, to be honest with you guys, I never really hated Tariq's character. Now, did I like Tariq's character? Not a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot. Now, if you've been following my channel for these many years, I've said 3 to 4 years ago, man, when I first started doing power reviews, I've said, Tariq is doing a lot of different things, a lot of negative behaviors because of his parents. I never put full blame on Ghost. I never put full blame on Tasha. I clearly said that it's a combination of both parents. I ain't putting it on just one. Tariq's actions, it's all because of what he's been through at home. And of course, I know a lot of people are not going to agree with some of the things that he did, but he did what he did regardless. I didn't like some of the things that Tariq did in the original Power. I mean, because he did a lot of stupid stuff, right? They was calling him the most hated kid. I think I even had a video talking about Tariq, called Tariq the most hated or whatever, because a lot of people did not like Tariq's character in the past, and especially when he killed Ghost. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Now, am I a fan of what Tariq did? Absolutely not. I got a lot of respect for Rainey Jr. He put on a hell of a performance in this installment of Power. I still don't agree with him killing his father. I know it's a TV show, and I'm not going to agree with everything just because I review Power. It's one of my favorite shows. Of course, I'm not going to agree with everything, but I'm here to voice my opinion. I still love the show and have respect for the show no matter what. I still wish it didn't play out like that. I was kind of hoping someone else would kill Ghost, and then maybe Tariq could avenge that, and do something else. But look, I'm not a writer. You know what I'm saying? I understand this is not my story, so I had to put myself in place. But as far as the hate goes for Tariq's character, I've been seeing it. A lot of people have said, you know what? At first, I want to go give the show a try. At first, I didn't really like Tariq. But now, after watching the full season, I got more respect for his character. My hate for Tariq has dropped. I've been seeing that a lot. Some people, I want to say most of the people that I've been seeing, they're saying that, that hate level has dropped down a little bit, right? So that's just based off what we saw in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1. I mean, Tariq's actions is very similar to his father's, and that's that's a reason for that, right? Because of course they want Tariq to be the better version of his father. They want Tariq to go through some of the things that his father went through. So of course you're going to see those parallels. That's why we continue to see these different parallels with Tariq in this show, especially when you compare it to the original Power. I mean, we see it. I mean, it's night and day, right? Not just with Tariq, but with other characters in the show as well. They're making a lot of parallels. This is like the origin stories of Ghost. They're just telling it in Tariq's show, in my opinion. I mean, you can clearly see it. But at the end of the day, Tariq did what he had to do. He still is going to receive a lot of hate for doing this. But a lot of fans now are saying, you know what, kid, it's cool. I like what you did as far as what you did in season 1 of Power Book 2 Ghost. And a lot of people want to see season 2. A lot of people are ready for season 2. And they're giving it a chance. Now, remember that Power Book 2 Ghost was a risk. Courtney Kemp, she's stressed. I mean, she said this time and time again in earlier interviews that, you know, it took her a while to come to a conclusion, to come to you know, the thought process of just accepting the ending of the show. You see what I'm saying? She was like, man, I don't know if they're going to like this, but she had to accept the fact that people are not going to like what she's going to do. She's just going to have to write it. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. Pretty much just so be it. And that's exactly what she did. She wrote the ending, and it was what it was. At the end of the day, people did give it flack, a lot of, hate. And at the end of the day, this experiment with Power Book 2 Ghosts has worked. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely worked. After a lot of people said that they're not going to watch this. Now, even though I did not like what Tariq did as far as killing his father Ghost, I always had the respect for the show, and I always said I'm going to review and watch the show no matter what. At the end of the day, it's just TV. I'm going to continue to watch it, but a lot of people said that it was going to be done with it, but a lot of people came back and continued to watch. I think they even said the streaming numbers was even higher than the Power Season 6 premiere. So it goes to show you that this show is definitely making a run for its money. It's definitely getting up there, and ain't one of them shows that's just going to die out, right? It goes to show you that people are tuned in and they want to see the rest of this story. No matter how much hate they have for Tariq, they're going to continue to watch. And remember, people love watching stuff that they hate. I mean, at least characters. You know what I'm saying? They will watch you regardless of what they say, especially if they like the show. So it proved that in this installment of Power. People talk all that shit, but at the end of the day, when it comes to actually sitting down and watching the show, people are going to continue to watch this and watch the journey of the show. And of course, to just see how it all ends, right? Everybody wanted to know if Ghost was alive and all these different fan theories and stuff like that. But besides that, people will still tune in and watching season 2. You're going to see the same thing. People are going to tune in. There's going to be a lot of people saying, I'm through with it, especially since Ghost is not coming back. But it is what it is, man. But like I told you guys, at the end of the day, when it comes to Tariq, in my personal opinion, I never really hated the kid at all. I just didn't like how they made him kill his father. That's just my personal opinion. And hey, I'm sticking with it, whether people agree with it or not. But as far as him gaining my respect in this, in this season, I would say, hell yeah, Tariq definitely stepped up to the plate. And Michael Rainey Jr. in general, he was kind of stressing a little bit because he was pretty much saying that, man, it's a whole lot of pressure. When 50 Cent and Courtney Kemp told him that, look, you're going to be leading this show. Like, this is going to be your show. He was like, damn, I'm going to be leading this show, like, for real? I mean, you got to remember, this guy at the time was only about 18, 19 when he found out this news. So it was like, man, that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. And he has, delivered a lot, especially in this first season, man. He's delivered a lot. And I give him his props and respects to be able to carry this show. It was crazy, man. And you guys got to actually just think about that. If you notice in this first season, we didn't see a lot of Tasha like that. And I think that was really for a reason, because they wanted to, show Tariq's story more, not really focus on what was going on with Tasha while she was locked up, because I know a lot of us wanted to see what was going on with Tasha as far as her being locked up, and in the story behind that. But we didn't really see a whole lot of that. Instead, we saw more of Tariq's story, more of the professor's story. They kind of stuck to the new cast members, trying to build up those character developments, not the character developments of prior characters, right? So of course we didn't see a whole lot of Tasha, and Tommy Egan didn't come back to the very last episode. And once he stepped on the scene, it's like he took over, right? He took over. And I believe this was all plotted and planned out for a reason, because of course when you got a guy like Tommy Egan that comes onto the screen, it's kind of hard not to give him a whole lot of credit, because he clearly changes the whole vibe of the show, and the show eventually becomes his show, especially if James St. Patrick ain't in it, right? So I think this experiment and this book 2 Ghost installment, not only did it do good, I believe it's going to continue to do well. And shout out to Courtney Kemp and the writers, because this second half, it delivered. It delivered, greater than I thought it would. You know what I'm saying? So I have no problems with it at the end of the day. I do have more respect for Tariq's character. Regardless if he did kill his dad and I don't agree, I still have more respect for his character. And hopefully in this next season, he can continue to grow and just learn. Now we got to remember that Tariq's character in James St. Patrick's character is based off Courtney Kemp's father, and some of Tariq's character is based off Courtney Kemp. So if you know the story about that, before I end the video, pretty much Courtney Kemp explained how when she was growing up, how her father would tell her to do certain things, and she made mistakes just like any typical teenager. You know what I'm saying? Your parents tell you to do certain things and you like, nah, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a kid, you feel like you know everything. And remember, Courtney Kemp's father passed away some years back, and it took for him to pass away for her to start to realize, like, man, my dad's, he was right about a lot of different things, right? So that appreciation for some of those lessons that he was trying to teach her, it didn't really come until after he died. Like, you didn't really appreciate it until after he passed away. So you see those elements within the show with Tariq, with Ghost. That's why, of course, Tariq is based off her character, not all the way, but just certain elements, right? And James St. Patrick, certain elements of his character is based off her father, as far as the way he dresses and stuff like that. You see those elements. So of course, this is a little bit more personal, right? So when we're talking about the story of Tariq and James St. Patrick, Tariq is not going to realize until it's too late. That's just my opinion. He's going to be like, man, my pops was right. And you guys saw that at the end of Power Book 2 Ghost, when Tariq told Tommy, like, man, he was right. He said people ain't gonna like you for some of the stuff that you do. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do what you gotta do and people are not gonna like you, pretty much. So Tariq is learning that lesson right now. Like, man, my pops was right. And he's finally gonna appreciate some of those lessons that Ghost tried to teach him while he was alive, similar to Courtney Kemp's lifestyle and her father. Just small little elements, little details that they put into the show that she talked about, and you're going to see it in the continuation of the show. But I did appreciate what we saw in Power Book 2 Ghost. You guys let me know, man. What do you think about this as far as Tariq's character? Do you still hate his character? Now is the time to answer. You know what I'm saying? Let us know down below. Continue to support your boy, and I will continue to bring you more Power Book 2 Ghost content in the future. But let me get on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.